Continuation of the text about why some people don't like receiving compliments. Expanding with psychological depth, vivid examples, and closure that invites transformative action. Compliment as a mirror. What do you see when someone admires you? Imagine the scene: you're at a dinner party, and someone says, looking into your eyes, "You have an incredible gift for," insert skill here. What happens inside you? For most, it's a warmth in the chest, an automatic smile. But for those who turn up their nose at compliments, it's like someone suddenly turning on a spotlight in a dark room. The light hurts. Not because it's bad, but because it reveals things we'd rather not see. Here's the paradox: the compliment isn't about you, it's about how you see yourself. The "I don't deserve" syndrome, when praise became a debt. Let's disassemble this mechanism. Suppose, as a child, every time you heard "Congratulations, you're so talented," this was followed by, "Now everyone will expect more from you. Don't make a mistake next time, huh? Your brother could never do that." The child's brain associates praise with pressure. Over time, the equation looks like this. Praise equals expectation, failure, disappointment, yours or others. Result: you learn to dodge praise like a knife. It's not a lack of gratitude, it's self-preservation. As psychologist Alberto Ciaro, Fernando Pessoa's heteronym, said, "If they praise me, it's because they don't know me well." But here's the twist: this very mechanism could be your super strength. The hidden power of those who avoid praise. People who reject external validation often have 1. A sharp authenticity filter. They detect empty praise from miles away. If someone says you're amazing without specifying why, they're suspicious. They prefer constructive criticism to generic adulation because they know that growth lies in the details, not in the applause. 2. A unique relationship with excellence. While many work for the "I liked it" of others, they work for "I know I could be better." Example: a writer who hates it when people say your book is great, but his eyes shine when he points out a specific paragraph that moved him. Praise must have substance, or it is noise. 3. A rare emotional independence. In a world where likes dictate self-esteem, those who don't depend on praise have already won the most difficult battle, not needing others to define their value. Key phrase: if I don't praise myself, no external praise completes me. If I praise myself, no external praise destroys me. The compliment you've never heard, but need to tell yourself. Here is the naked truth. The problem is not receiving praise. It's just that you have been trained to believe that they are counterfeit coins. But what if, instead of turning your nose up, you relearned how to welcome them? Not as an obligation, but as a given. One piece of information. A mirror that reflects not only your qualities, but how others see you. Try this. 1. Practice thank you plus pause. When someone compliments you, take a deep breath, say thank you and let silence fill the space. Don't justify, don't diminish. Just receive. Why? This breaks the cycle of self-sabotage and trains your brain to accept kindness. 2. Turn the compliment into a question. Instead of "Oh, it was nothing," ask, "What specifically caught your attention?" Effect: you extract real value from the compliment and strengthen connections. 3. Give yourself the compliment you've never heard. Write on paper. I praise myself for specific action, because concrete reason. Example: I praise myself for finishing that project, because I persisted even when I was exhausted. Science behind: studies show that self-validation activates the same brain areas as external praise, but without the dependency. When praise becomes a revolutionary act, there is a silent movement of people who are rewriting their relationship with wonder. They discover, will say, praising yourself is not arrogance, it is self-knowledge. Receiving praise is not weakness, it is the courage to be seen. Ignoring empty praise isn't rude, it's wisdom. And you? What story is your discomfort with compliments trying to tell you? Maybe it's time to stop shying away from the mirror and instead look yourself straight in the eye and say, "I know I'm enough." With or without applause. Your next 7-day challenge. Call to action with purpose, not just engagement, but transformation. 1. Identify one compliment that you usually reject, e.g., you are very patient. 2. The next time you hear something like this, take a breath and just say, thank you. No but, no disqualifying. 3. At night, write down, today, I allowed, person's name, to see me. And it didn't destroy me. 4. Share in the comments, which compliment do you most avoid? And what do you think it reveals about you? Why do this? Because changing an emotional pattern starts with a small act of courage. And who knows? Maybe the next time someone says you're amazing, you'll not only believe it, but let that truth transform you. P.S. If this text resonated with you, save it. Reread it whenever a compliment makes you uncomfortable. And remember, the world already has many distorted mirrors. Be your own kindest reflection. Final CTA. Small Blue Diamond, did you like it? Leave a red heart # and comment which part marked you the most. Small Blue Diamond, who else needs to read this? Share and tag this person. Small Blue Diamond, want more reflections like this? Activate the bell and subscribe, because we're going to dive deep into other topics that no one talks about, but everyone feels. Until the next inconvenient truth. Winking face. The elixir of vulnerability, why accepting a compliment is a revolutionary act, and how to do it without falling down. 1. Praise like a broken mirror. Have you ever noticed how some compliments hurt like a really strong handshake? It's not the pain of the pressure, but the strangeness of being seen. You're so talented sounds like I see you, now what? We tremble not because of the compliment, but because of what it reveals, that someone crossed the border of our self-concept and dared to disagree with it. This is not shyness. It's holy terror. Because if you believe that compliment, you'll have to rebuild the narrative that kept you safe in the I'm not that good zone. And rebuilding hurts. It's easier to reject praise than to face the possibility that perhaps you are more than you give yourself credit for. Pause. Breathe. We're going to dismantle this together. 2. The distorted mathematics of self-criticism. Your brain does crazy math with compliments. One sincere compliment equals 10 imaginary criticisms that you've thrown in your face before. You're amazing, but what about the time I failed? I loved your work, they're just being kind. You have a huge heart, if they only knew how I hurt X person. Why do we do this? Because the brain was trained to survive, not to flourish. In the jungle, relying on praise could be fatal. How beautiful your fire is, and they would steal your food. Today, the jungle is your mind, and the fire is your self-esteem. You erase the compliment before it burns the fragile structure that supports you. But what if, instead of putting it out, you let it burn? What if the fire didn't destroy, but illuminated? 3. Praise as a gift wrapped in sandpaper. Imagine someone gives you a package. You know there's something good inside, but the paper is rough, it scratches your fingers. The compliment is like this: the intention is beautiful, but the packaging is uncomfortable to be seen. People who reject compliments are not saying I don't deserve it. They're screaming, I don't know how to deal with the weight of being important to you. People who minimize compliments, it was nothing, are, in fact, testing sincerity. Are you going to insist? Or was it just courtesy? People who deflect praise, but so-and-so is better, are redirecting attention because focusing on themselves paralyzes them. The inconvenient truth. You are not afraid of praise. You're afraid of what you'll have to do after you accept it. Will I have to charge myself more? Will I disappoint? Will I now have to be that forever? 4. The Silent Revolution Protocol. Let's do an experiment. For 7 days, you will accept compliments like someone receiving a glass of water in the desert, without questioning, without justifying, without returning. Just thank you. Day 1 to 2, it will hurt. Your tongue will itch to say oh, but resist. Breathe. Just say, thank you. Day 3 to 4, guilt will arise. What if they think I'm arrogant? Remember, accepting is not agreeing. It is allowing the other to exist in their truth. Day 5 to 7, something will change. You'll notice that the world doesn't collapse when you let them see you. And that, perhaps, you also deserve to take up space. Write down on your phone, today, I let, name, praise me. And nothing exploded. 5. What the compliment you avoid reveals about you. Every rejected compliment is a map of your fears. Praise avoided, what does he play, what your brain screams. Dash it. You are very intelligent, fear of not being enough, what if they find out I'm faking it? You are strong, fear of vulnerability, if I fall, they will laugh. You are generous, fear of being used, they will take advantage. You are beautiful, fear of being reduced to appearance, they only want me on the outside. You're fun, fear of not being taken seriously, they'll think I'm frivolous. Brutal, but liberating, exercise. Take the compliment you most avoid and write down 3 pieces of evidence that it might be true. X. You are very patient. 1. I endured 2 hours of my grandmother telling the same story. 2. I taught my brother how to drive without shouting, much. 3. I wait for my coffee to heat up without cursing the coffee maker. Yes, it sounds silly. It works. 6. The but trap and how to get out of it. The thank you, but, is the silent killer of compliments. Every but is a brick in the wall you build between yourself and the world. What do you say, what the other hears, what should you say? Dash there. Thanks, but it was luck, your compliment is worthless, thanks. I'm glad you noticed. Ah, it was nothing, your recognition bothers me, thank you. It means a lot. You are exaggerated, I don't trust your judgment, thanks. I'll keep this. Rule of thumb. If you can't accept the compliment for yourself, accept it for the other person. Thank you is a gift you give to someone who compliments you, permission for their kindness to have value. 7. Praise as a portal, no, not esoteric. When you accept a compliment, 3 magical things happen. 1. You rewrite your story. Every thank you without but is a new pixel in the image you have of yourself. Over time, the photo becomes clearer and more beautiful. 2. You give permission to others. People who accept compliments create an environment where others can too. It's like lighting a candle in the dark, it lights the path for those who are afraid. 3. You train your brain for abundance. Rejecting compliments is like returning money thinking you don't deserve it. Accepting is saying to the universe, I am open to receive. And the universe, my friend, loves delivery people. 8. For those who think this is cheap or cheap self-help. But that's something for fragile people, who need validation. Response. It's not about needing praise. It's about allowing life to be good to you. You are not weak for accepting affection. You are human. And if there's one thing this world needs right now, it's humans who know how to receive and give kindness without fear. And no, this won't make you a narcissist. Narcissists don't have problem accepting compliments. They have trouble paying them back. 9. The final challenge. Yes, there is a challenge. In the next 30 days. 1. Accept 1 compliment a day, even if it's I like your hair. 2. Write it down, on your notepad, on the mirror, wherever today, I allowed, name, to see me. And the world didn't end. 3. On day 30, read all your notes and ask, what changed? Spoiler, you will cry. Or smile like a fool. Or both. And it will be beautiful. 10. The truth that no one tells you. You are not rejecting compliments. You are rejecting the idea that you can be loved exactly as you are. And that, my dear, is the greatest tragedy of all, because the world already loves you. You just didn't let him tell you. Fire your turn. 1. What compliment do you avoid most? Comment here. No shame. 2. What do you think it reveals about your fears? Be brutally honest. 3. Tag someone who needs to read this, because everyone has a compliment they didn't know how to receive. Speech balloon PS. Save this text. Come back to it whenever someone says something nice about you and your first reaction is to deny, minimize, or deflect. The world already has many distorted mirrors. Be your own reflection, kind, imperfect, and most of all, true. Rocket, want more? Activate the bell so you don't miss the next texts. We'll talk about things that hurt, but free. Share with anyone who needs to hear this, and tag in the comments, @Fulano, this is for you. Send someone a sincere compliment today, and see how it changes your day. Until the next truth that we avoid but need to face. And this time, I promise, you will come out lighter, winking face. 11. The The compliment you never knew how to receive, and why it hurts so much. Have you ever noticed that some compliments sting like criticism? It's not the generic congratulations that bothers you, it's the one that touches the exact wound you're trying to hide. The "you're so talented" when you feel like a fraud. The "how strong you are" when you're falling apart inside. The "you light up the room" when you feel invisible. It's not the praise that hurts. It's the mirror he holds in front of him. And then, you have two options. 1. Really look, and face what it reveals. 2. Avert your face, and continue pretending you didn't see. Most choose the second. Because the first one hurts. But that's precisely where the magic happens. 12. The math of compliment rejection, and how to break it. Do the math. 1 compliment received equals 10 seconds of discomfort. 1 rejected compliment equals 1 year less self-esteem. Why do we prefer subtraction? Because accepting a compliment is making a commitment. If they think I'm like that, I have to keep being that way. If I fail later, I will disappoint them. If I believe, and I'm wrong, I'll hate myself. The solution? Turn the compliment into a question, not a sentence. Instead of "No, I'm not that good," try, "What did you see in me that made you say that?" Instead of "Oh, that was by accident," say, "Thanks. I'll keep that." Because compliments are not judgments. They are gifts. And gifts, my dear, we don't give back. 13. The compliment you most avoid is the key you need most. Answer mentally, without filtering. What compliment makes you blush and change the subject? X. You're pretty, you're smart, you're good at this. What does he accuse you of? Afraid of not being enough? Of being exposed? Of having to live up to it? If you believed in him for one day, what would change? Your posture. Your choices. Your self-love. The inconvenient truth. The compliment you most reject is the one you most need to hear, because it's the one your brain has denied itself for years. Example: if you deviate when people talk about your intelligence, it's because at some point someone made you doubt it. If you minimize praise for your body, it's because you've internalized that you don't deserve to occupy it with pride. The exercise. For 7 days, write down every compliment you receive, even the small ones. At the end of the week, read it out loud. What do these compliments have in common? This is the wound that needs light. 14. The but trap, and how to get out of it. Do you know this dance? I loved your work. Ah, but it was luck. You are incredible. But so and so does better. Every but is a brick in the wall you build between yourself and your own greatness. Replace the but with and. Thank you. And I intend to improve even more. I'm glad you liked it. And I worked hard for it. Why does it work? The but cancels it out. The E expands. 15. The compliment you never gave yourself. Here's the question that will hurt. If you treated a friend the way you treat yourself, would he still be your friend? Would you tell him, "Ah, that was nothing" after an achievement? Would you laugh at his mistake like you laugh at yours? Would you ignore the compliments he receives like you ignore yours? The golden rule of self-knowledge. If it's not good enough for others, it's not good enough for you. Today, do different. 1. Write down 3 things you admire about yourself. No buts, no discounts. 2. Say one of them out loud. Yes, alone in the mirror counts. 3. Thank yourself for existing, for resisting, for trying. Because the most important compliment you will ever receive from anyone. Just from you. Fire your turn, now in more depth. 1. What compliment do you most reject? Comment here without editing, without justifying. Just write. 2. What does it reveal about what you don't believe about yourself? X. If I reject "you are strong," it's because I think I'm weak. 3. If you accepted this compliment today, what decision would you make differently tomorrow? Promotion. Relationship. Project postponed. 4. Tag someone who needs to read this, and write, "At so-and-so, this compliment is from you." Receive it. Speech balloon PS. Save this text. Return to it whenever someone says you are, and your first reaction is to deny it. You find yourself comparing your failures with the praise of others. Needing to remember that accepting love is not arrogance, it is courage. The world already loves you. The question is, will you let it? Rocket want more? Because we don't stop here. Activate the bell so you don't miss the texts that will poke you where it hurts, but needs to heal. Share with anyone who needs to hear this, and tag in the comments, @Fulano, this is about us. Do the 7-day challenge, write down the compliments, and come back here to tell us what you discovered. I promise it will be eye-opening. Until the next truth that you avoid, but that, when faced, will make you fly. And this time, I promise, you will leave not only lighter, but more yours. Glowing star. Bullseye. Why does this format work? 1. Layers of depth. Don't stay on the surface, accept compliments, go to the root, why don't you believe them? 2. Active engagement. Questions that require immediate self-knowledge, not just likes. 3. Sensory language. Burn like criticism, brick in the wall, metaphors that the brain remembers. 4. Emotional call to action. It's not just share, it's tag who needs to hear this, creates real connection. 5. Empowering closing. Leaves the reader with a concrete mission, the 7 days of praise, not just a vague reflection. Final tip for you to apply. Write as if you are dismantling an emotional bomb. Each paragraph should reveal a deeper layer, until you get to the core. In this case, the compliment you reject is the key you hide. The reader must end up thinking, how does this text know so much about me? Winking face.